Had our forefathers been called to be a simple people, ruled over and cared for, we would not be the country we are today. The idea of individual thought would not be currently fought over, as the question would have been answered over a century ago. This inconvenience of a free and democratic people who wish to live by the rule of their own destiny could not be a stumbling block to the clubfoot of enroaching tyranny. If only they were a simple people, the kings and dictators of the world lament. Decade over decade, the despots of the globe will have a new ally in their rush towards tyranny if the American people continue to do nothing. I recently asked, what can the state do for you? A question rarely considered, as everyone is asking, well, what will the state do to me? A far too relevant question, one I and my brother ruminate over. A citizenry having to ask this question is not and cannot be free by the very nature of their worries. Could you believe there was a time when country truly wished to end the need for this line of thinking? But now we create such thoughts. This is not the country we tore from the arms of England. This flag we pledge allegiance to represents a constitution that gives hope and freedom to all, not to a few. Yet we now live as if under a cloud that nearly blankets the entire world. I do not stand for this distortion of liberty. The people of America do not stand for it, and all freedom-loving people of this world cannot accept another dynasty of degenerate hypocrisy forced upon them. Americans have watched the rise of Germany and the Soviet Union. We have fought, died, endured, and overcome the worst of humanity. So let us grab these illustrious leaders of the House and Senate by the neck and pull us all back from the brink of mutually assured annihilation. MAD was put in place with the intrinsic understanding no one would be depraved enough to test it. Apparently this has been forgotten and replaced with the jingoistic idealism of an irradiated Asia. We are not fighting in Korea, and it is not 1953 anymore. There are no nuclear options to take back the Yangtze River or push beyond the 53rd parallel. But we are once again fighting a war of attrition against an enemy of our own design. This monolith, created from the hearts and minds of those who simply know better, have seen to a world consistently at war, continuously finding reasons to hate, thinking little for the idea of honest dialogue or matters of peace. Had the United Nations kept to its initial mission, we would be spending more time talking our way out of wars and less time lecturing each other on issues no one listens to over the din of gunfire and border wars. Have we all forgotten the inevitable spoils of war? Perhaps the officials from Japan would be willing to remind us. Some people, rightfully, never forget.